Welcome back everybody to the daily show where we discuss and do technical analysis on big mega cap stocks. So before we get started, please smash that like button, and 100 plus likes on this video would be greatly appreciated, guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now if you want to support the channel and get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, live trading, and all kinds of setups, definitely check out their link down below in the description for Patreon. And now let's get right into it, guys. On AMD, it's absolutely flat on the day. Friday, only down 0.17%. And one interesting thing I have here on AMD to tell you guys that a big move is coming very soon on AMD. And how? Well, the same setup. You got Bollinger Bands here on AMD on top sitting at 171 and on bottom sitting at right here 157. And these two Bollinger Bands are squeezing the stock just here in between. So very soon you're going to see a big move to the upside or possibly a breakdown to the downside. No confirmation yet, but so far only thing I can give you that is more bullish, because this thing is holding or trying to at least hold around 160, this bottom of this range right here. And you can see we actually came under 160, went back up, came under, went back up, and pretty much closing right near 160 on Friday. So are we going to see a big push to the upside on AMD? We do have some unfinished business to the upside, and given the fact that right now, especially on a stock like AMD, usually what we see here in this market, all the gaps getting filled to the upside, and bottom gaps, nobody cares, right? So we have unfinished business right up here, and that is not too far away. And that is why I'm still holding some AMD calls right here, 165.86. So that can happen as long as AMD can stay above, I would say, lower Bollinger Band 157 in key level that needs to hold 160. If that happens, AMD can stay above 157 to 160. Definitely at some point you're going to see AMD going back up to 164, this big resistance right here, and soon as that breaks more upside up to this gap 165.86 and above that level, you're going to see a big breakout to the upside, possibly up to 184, and then this gap 188. On a bearish scenario, AMD will take out 160. It will not hold 160 anymore. It's going to trade under 160, and this Bollinger Band here on bottom will expand to the downside. And then you're going to see AMD coming down and filling this gap right here at 153.49 and possibly going down to 148 and then all the way down here at 138. So AMD, you have to wait for the confirmation. And I would say if it's going to play out to the upside and you want to see a big move like 184 to 188, then wait for this top of the range to break and possibly hold, and that's going to be around 173 to 174. If we can do that here on AMD, you're going to see a massive breakout. So watch out. I mean, this thing's still just coiling up right here, just consolidating. So we have no decision here on AMD, and I cannot give you guys what direction will AMD pick, but looks like a big move is coming very soon on AMD. On Netflix is up 2.47%. So I was telling you guys before in my video that Netflix, as long as you can stay above 630, and it was actually holding way above 630. So definitely that was coming, and you can see it was also wedging right here inside. And now we got a massive breakout over 665 and now trading at almost 670 and got up to 675.58. Very close to 700, the target that I gave you guys here on Netflix. So now I think, yes, we might see a pullback possibly down to 665, 664, maybe down to 653. And if that happens, that's going to be an absolute dip buy to play this breakout to the upside, possibly up to 700. Now, if you actually play this, then watch out. Your stop will be right down here, this trend line, and also 20 SMA, which is rising at 645. If that gives up, you're going to see a dump off down to 630. So Netflix, easy to trade. If you get a move down here, down to this previous high right here around, I would say 665, that is going to be the first stop if you want to buy. But I would be more comfortable buying right here near 5-day moving average, which is sitting at 653. And that's why I said that's going to be an absolute dip buy to play this breakout to the upside all the way up to easily 700, and even I think a brand new fresh all-time high is coming very soon on Netflix. So watch out guys. 664 to 665 support, and below that rising 5-day moving average 653, and then 20 SMA, that's gonna be your stop 645, and below that we also have strong support at 630 on Netflix. Right now I would not chase this unless there is a decent pullback. Like I said, down here down to 5-day moving average, it's trading way outside the Bollinger Band, so it will come in and then you can buy the dip if you want to play it to the upside. On Amazon stock, it's absolutely flat on Friday and it's holding above 182.66 20-day moving average and trading at 183. So it's holding basically these moving averages right here, 50, 20, and 13 as a support in between 182 and 183. So that's going to be a strong support for tomorrow's session. But if that gives up right here on Amazon, immediately you're going to see a drop down to 180, 176.81, and then down to 173, which is going to be a critical support on any pullback. Now, if Amazon can hold right here 182 to 183, watch out for a pushback up to 185 and then possibly retesting 5-day moving average 185.73, and once we get above 185.73 on Amazon, this thing can push again all the way back up to 190. On Google stock, it's up 0.92%, so look at Google right here guys, and that is why you need these levels to make money here in this market. And Google here also pretty much looks like a same setup just like Netflix. So if I can actually draw these lines correctly right here, and that's why I usually do it off the screen, but here you go. And you can see this thing is also kind of coiling up right here. Are we going to see a big breakout to the upside, or maybe this is it? It's gonna run out of juice right here and then you're going to see a dump off, and I can even expand this line further down and you can see nice, you know, we can call this a wedge or whatever, you know, it just coiling up right here. And now I mean, look at this on Friday, and that is why you need these levels to day trade and make money. What was the low? 175.85. And what's the support? 176. What happened? At the end, trading at 178.37. So if you actually call the dip, you know, over $2 to the upside, decent amount of money, buying same day expiration on Google, you made decent money on Friday. So you got to watch this level on any pullback, 176, and below that this thing will come down, this uptrend will break and will come down to 173 and then 170. Now above 176, definitely, you know, blue sky above, and this thing is looking extremely bullish, can go up to right here 180 to 178 again. As soon as we get that breakout over that, we got that last week with that CPI, but then it actually pulled in. So watch out, 178 to 180 breaks easily up to 182, and then watch out for a massive move, possibly up to 188 on Google. But watch this support and this trend line right here around 176 on Google stock. On Meta, it's up slightly on the day, kind of a flat day, and not even holding 505 as a support, rising 5-day moving average right here. So that's going to be a level to watch going into Monday's session. If we can actually go right back up and hold 505, Meta can go up all the way up to 515 and then 520. Now below 505, we do have strong support at 500, and just below that right down here 490, and below 490, things will come down easily on Meta down to 481.37 to retest 20 and 50 SMA, and we have unfinished business down here, this gap, and that's going to be an absolute dip buy if we get a pullback down here to 478.89, and which is crazy how this thing is moving, guys. I mean, we came really close to closing this gap at 400, but look at this now. We actually gapped up from 478 and trading at, what is it, 504, got up to almost 514, 15, and not even pulling back and retesting this breakout right here at 478 to 480 on Meta. On Tesla stock is down 2.44%. So is this it? We got the breakout, and now this thing retesting this breakout right here. So this needs to hold right here, guys. 178 to 176. Your key line in the sand for tomorrow. Because if that gives up, we have seen so many fake breakouts to the upside on Tesla and then fading, just like we saw on Thursday. with that news. And even on Friday, this thing gave up all the gains and pretty much coming back and retesting this breakout right here, 178. I would like to see Tesla again immediately going over 183 and holding 178 tomorrow. If that don't happen, we cannot actually break and hold 183. Definitely it's not going to play out to the upside and you're not going to see 200 on Tesla. So the key level to watch right here, 178, these moving averages right here, and top of this wedge right here. This is going to be a strong level. Below that, you're going to see a dump off down to 172 and then 170 and possibly even lower from there. But watch this support 178. As long as you can hold that, this thing can bounce back up to 183. And soon as we get that breakout over 183, it was holding Thursday. So this thing needs to get that breakout over 183. It needs to hold, and then you're going to see continuation to the upside, easily up to 200. On Apple, stock is down 0.82%, so Apple just consolidating right here and not even coming down and retesting previous all-time highs right here, and that is around 198 to 199 on Apple stock, and now it's holding upper Bollinger Band as a support, 212.97 into closing at 212.49, closing near upper Bollinger Band, and still overbought on daily time frame and even getting overbought on weekly time frame. Now what happens when Apple stock gets overbought? Well, first you saw a drop from 210 down to 211 already, and I think at some point, maybe not this week or maybe this week, who knows, this thing is definitely overbought and we can afford a pullback easily down to, I would say, 208 to this rising 5-day moving average, and top of this candle right here, 207, that's gonna be a strong support. Now if that gives up, immediately you're going to see a lot more selling, and then this previous all-time high come into play, and that's gonna be around 199 to 198, and that's gonna be your dip buying zone on Apple stock. And I know it sounds crazy because I was talking about dip buying here, guys, not up here. And now because we got the breakout, now yes, if this thing coming back to retest previous all-time highs as a support, definitely that's gonna be a dip buy on Apple stock. Now going into tomorrow's session, anywhere from 208, even if it's holding at 212, this thing can move back up to the upside, and from there watch out for a move back up to 220 again. On Microsoft, it's up 0.22%, so Microsoft also getting a breakout and actually gapping over this previous all-time high from 432.82, gapping over this previous all-time high and hitting a fresh new all-time high multiple days. Even on Friday, this thing actually came back, pulled in right here down to this 5-day moving average, 437, and the dip was bought up, guys. I mean, this is insane. Look at this, 436.7 to low for the day, and the dip was bought up immediately, pushed it higher back up to 443. So this is how strong Microsoft is right now. If this thing breaks out over 443, I know things are overbought, yet this thing can continue to the upside easily up to the next target, 454 on Microsoft over 443. Now we get some sort of a pullback. We left a huge gap up in here from this gap up and go and hitting an all-time high. If we get a pullback under 437 5-day moving average, then you're going to see a dump off down to 433, this gap down here, and this is going to be a dip buying zone. And I know it sounds crazy buying a dip at all-time high. I would not hold overnight, but if you're actually day trading, just like on Friday, you can see, if you're buying off of this rising 5-day moving average, look at this, guys. I mean, 437 to 443, that is a $6 move you can caught and make money on a day trade, and that is the trade I'm talking about. I'm not talking about going long and holding Microsoft overnight and 3 weeks out calls and making big buck. No, there is no big opportunities on Microsoft. Even though we got a breakout, we can just day trade and make our money from this stock. If this thing hits the level right here, especially gap fill reversal right here, 433, as long as the support can hold, you can play to the upside, and this thing can move easily up to $5-6. And if it's a day trade, just like on Friday, this thing moved over $6, you can make a ton of money. Now also put a stop loss if you're playing and respect that stop loss, otherwise this thing can take a lot of money from you. So watch out Next breakout over 443 should take Microsoft up to 454, and if it's staying below 443, watch out for the support down here at 437, and then this gap 433, and then we also have strong support down here at 426.96 down to 420. On Nvidia stock, it's up 1.75%, so another fresh new all-time high, and the market cap definitely catching up to Microsoft and Apple, and that is the goal on Nvidia stock, at least for now, to become the #1 stock in this market. Now, we talked about it last week in my video. I think since Monday, I've been telling you guys that a lot of calls coming in on Nvidia stock for 130. So, what I see here, that is exactly what I put out in my channel. I'm not lying to you guys. I'm not telling you guys something that's not happening. The chart definitely overbought. And I'm not even talking about daily time frame, some 1 hour time frame, 15 minute, 4 hour, nothing like that. I'm talking about monthly time frame. Just check out the RSI. Look at the quarterly RSI and see what happened last time this thing got up to 90. And this is basically same thing happening. I mean, this move is just insane, next level. Apple is pumping, right? I'm totally happy with that move on Apple. It actually had a decent correction, lots of consolidation where this thing, where is the consolidation, guys? You call this consolidation here? Nope. This is nothing. And where is the correction? This is nothing. Going straight up. Pretty much every week, every day. If there is a pullback for 1 or 2 days, like here, look at the next day, gap up and go. Even right here, gap up and go, right? So Nvidia calls were coming in last week for 130. And I said in my video that watch out for a move up to previous all-time highs, 126, 125. We take that out easily, you're going to see 130. And this is exactly what we got on Thursday, and then breaking out over 130 and coming back. If you look at some shorter time frame, you'll see it's coming back down to 130. It was holding, and now looks like the next stop is 136 to 140. So watch out. That's going to be the next stop for this week, above 130. We get a pullback and this thing breaks under 130, then watch out for the support down here, 126. And below that, I mean, that's going to be a strong support. Also, if you look at this trend line, it's right here, 126 to 127. So that's going to be a strong support on any pullback. But if that gives up, this thing can dump easily down here. And that's going to be around 123 to 122 down to even 117 to 118 down here on Nvidia. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated.